Hey, I'm here with another video. So, one of the shows that I will be reviewing this year is 90 Day Fiance. So, I didn't realize until I started making my schedule, the shows that I'm going to be reviewing, that this season of 90 Day Fiance has already started. I believe tonight, the 5th episode comes on. Now, I did say originally I wasn't going to do like a episode 1 through 4 situation, but I kind of am. I just want to kind of give like, I'm not going to go episode by episode. I'm just going to talk about each couple individually and give you my feelings and my thoughts on them. We'll wait for tonight's episode to come on. I will be uploading my review for tonight's episode tomorrow, because tonight I have to do the Real Housewives of Atlanta. So tomorrow I will be uploading my review for 90 Day Fiance. So let's get to it. So, as y'all know, 90 Day Fiance, sometimes we have the same couples that was like on here previously, come back. So we're going to go through each of the couples. So we're going to start off with Rebecca and, is it Zied? I think it's Zied, okay? Now, if y'all remember last season, I believe it was, of 90 Day Fiance, Rebecca was she on was it 90 Day Fiance the other way? Did she go over there? I don't remember which one it was, but regardless, Rebecca went, she started messing with this man, this younger man than her. Maybe he's like, I think Zied is like 27 and maybe she's like in her 40s or her 50s, whatever the case may be. But she started messing around with this man, okay? I think he is originally from, see y'all, I'm terrible because I don't even know where the man's from. And you know what? I did all of this research. Well, not like real research. It was before the 90 days. Sorry, that's what they were on. Because if y'all know, it's like before the 90 days, the 90 Day Fiance, then afterwards. So he is from, oh, how do you say that word? I don't know, Tunisia. I don't want to offend anybody and I don't want to say it wrong. But anyway, I remember she had went over there to go and see him. Now, previously, her ex-boyfriend was from Morocco. And that whole situation did not end up correctly. So she went over there, she met his people and everything like that. So where we are now currently in this situation is right now she was waiting we start off with the season with her waiting for him to get his visa, okay? They went through everything, so now I think he had to go on an interview and we're just kind of waiting on that. So also what we have going on with Rebecca is, so Rebecca says that she has had a lot of different jobs, okay? Right now she's currently the general manager of a restaurant or something like that. But because of all of the fees that comes with, dealing with this whole process of trying to get him over there, she doesn't really have enough money really to kind of like stay on her own. So, and also if you guys watch 90 Day Fiance a lot, you would know, at this point that when someone does come over on like a visa, on a spousal visa, that they can't work for the first 6 months of them being here. So not only does she have to take care of herself, but she got to take care of him because he's not going to be able to work. So for the time being, what she is going to do is she currently lives with her daughter and with her daughter's boyfriend. Now her daughter's pretty young. Her daughter's in like, I think like her mid-20s or something like that. So we see the interaction, between her and her daughter. And one of the scenes that they have is Rebecca is talking to her daughter, pretty much saying how Zied pretty much, I guess, is not gonna be too comfortable being there because of the fact that her boyfriend is there. Her daughter's boyfriend is there, and she's like, well, what does that mean? And she's like, well, he doesn't want him, looking at me, me walking around and certain things, and this is that and the third. And of course the daughter's like, but my boyfriend is not looking at you. Like, please believe that. And from her daughter's perspective, I understand. But what Rebecca said, I understand too. She said, well, you got to understand his religion. If y'all don't know, this is my Roku TV. That's what all of this is on the side. But anyway, you know, he is a Muslim man, and there are certain things, within their religion, and they don't really like, me being around a man that I'm not married to and all this other stuff. So I feel like, before we ended it off, I think the last thing we seen about them is that he went to the interview. They had took his passport and everything, but then I think one day when she was just like checking again on his status, it said that it was approved. So pretty much we are at the point where Zied is now approved for his visa, and I guess he'll be making his way over sooner rather than later. Now I'm not really sure how this whole situation is about to work out because, like she said, her daughter's boyfriend is very like southern, very country, very, no, this is no shade, but like real rednecky, real like that type of stuff. And I mean, I felt everything that he said when they had that conversation. Like, he's about to be respectful. You're not about to come up in my crib and be disrespecting the hell out of me. And so the way that Ziad is versus the way her daughter's boyfriend is, I really don't know how long they're really gonna be able to like shake this situation out. And with him not working for 6 months, I damn sure don't really know how this is gonna work out. And on top of that, you could tell that their house is kind of like small, which there's nothing wrong with that. Hell, my house is, my apartment, Lord knows, God knows how small. So I ain't got no room to talk about nobody. But what I'm saying is that I'm pretty sure it's going to be really, really, really tight. So I'm interested in seeing how that dynamic will work out. Alrighty, then we move on and we got Tariq and Hazel. Now, when I had first seen Tariq, I'm like, I know I've seen him on this show before. And I have, you know, he messes with this girl named Hazel. Hazel, I believe, is from Thailand. Now, this whole situation is crazy. Now, I don't remember this from before, but whatever, I'll talk about now. He currently has the majority custody of his 7-year-old daughter who has autism. And I'm very, very interested in seeing how this relationship between Hazel and his daughter, like, I really want to see how Hazel handles her. Now, when he went over to go and see Hazel, you know, where she's from, you know, he's seen how she lived, you know, I think she's from Manila. Sorry, not Thailand. I think she's from Manila. Is Manila in Thailand? Don't judge me. Whatever. She's from Manila, I believe. And so he went over there, seen how she lived, and he was like, yeah, I definitely gotta have her come over here. So, you know, he went ahead and he proposed to her. Now, I don't know if y'all remember, but him and his brother got into this really, really, really big blowout. Because, of course, his brother, being worried like he should, is like, I don't really know, like, are you sure this girl is really for you? Like, what if she come over here? Like everybody else would think with in all of these situations, like, are you sure this person really care about you, or are you sure they're not coming over here just for a green card? So that's that. And so let's talk about the threesome situation. Okay, so Tariq goes to see his friend, one of his friends. Okay, this is pretty much how the situation happened. All right, I'm gonna try to see if I can keep it together. Okay, that is my boyfriend playing Apex. Don't worry, that's why he's loud. But anyway, so Hazel thought that she was pregnant, right? She calls Tariq and she tells Tariq that she was pregnant because she had missed her period. Now, some way, somewhere in there, and I don't really remember how he explained all of this happened because it really don't make no sense to me. But some way, somehow, you know, she end up, you know, bleeding or whatever, and so from her, damn, I really don't even really understand how this happened. But regardless of the situation, he thought that she had an abortion, okay? But she did not have an abortion. She went to the doctor and found out that she didn't have an abortion, or it wasn't nothing like that. It's just that her period was late. Now, during that time, when he thought that she had an abortion or whatever the case may be, he ended up breaking up with her at the time. Once he broke up with her, he went back on that same website that he went on to find her, and he started talking with this other girl named Minty. Okay, so him and Minty start talking. They was talking for maybe about 3 weeks or whatever. And then he ends up getting the phone call from Hazel, you know, about what actually happened. She wasn't really pregnant. It's just that her period was late. So once that happened, oh, sorry. Let me pause and say the reason he went back and talked to Hazel again is because he wanted to tell Minty, before we go any further with this, I want to make sure that this situation is dead. So he goes over, he talks to Hazel, whatever. And once, you know, she explains the whole situation, he apologizes. You know, he says that he's sorry. And, you know, she pretty much says, you know, that she's forgives him. So at this point, he's thinking about pretty much he wants to get back with Hazel. But he said before he get back with Hazel, he wanted to explain to her, or, you know, be honest with her about who he's been talking to. So he tells Hazel, you know, I've been talking to this girl, Minty, this, that, and third. And so Hazel, being the insecure girl that she is, I mean, she pretty much said she wanted to see everything. She wanted to see pictures, she wanted to see text messages, she wanted to see it all. So he ends up giving her all that information, and to our fucking surprise, she pretty much says, oh, well, she's pretty cute, like, I want her. So that's pretty much when he finds out that Hazel is bisexual, okay? I said, bitch, you gagged me because I had no idea. That was a good one. That was a good plot twist because I had no idea. So then him, Hazel, and Minty all meet up. I forgot where they went to. Maybe he did go to Thailand and meet up, but I don't know. But they all went on vacation together, right? And so the friend is like, oh my gosh, she was like, well, how did that go? Like, did everything work out? And he said, man, everything was good, all for like 2.5 days. On that third day, Hazel was over it, and she said she wanted both of us to pretty much cut off Minty. And he said pretty much he felt like it's because him and Minty was like kind of connecting a little bit more, and she felt like Minty, he feels like Hazel think that Minty wasn't as into her. So she pretty much said that the whole situation. So he ends up cutting it off with Minty or whatever. But then after the whole situation with coronavirus happened, he ended up reaching out to Minty to pretty much, see how she was doing, make sure that she was okay. And I guess now he's feeling guilty because he did tell Hazel that he would never talk to her again. Ain't that a lot, y'all? Ain't that a whole lot? Ain't that a whole lot? Oh my gosh. So then we see a scene. There's a scene. Now, mind you, like I said, I might be jumping all over the place with the episodes, but it is what it is. Everything happens regardless. He ends up getting on the phone with her, with Hazel, and they pretty much have a conversation, and she pretty much is like, yeah, like I, can't wait, to see the girls and stuff like that. So he pretty much said the way their marriage is gonna work is that Hazel is gonna have a girlfriend. That's pretty much how this marriage is gonna work, and he's feeling a little funny style about it, but I guess he's cool with that. I said this is a whole love and hip hop ass sister wives mess. What a mess. So eventually Hazel ends up coming to the United States, he picks her up from the airport. They get to the house. The thing about Hazel, you could tell that she was, and I want to say this about all of the people that end up making it to to the United States so far. All of them were overwhelmed, rightfully so. I understand. So when Hazel came, Hazel's now, a lot of people will probably think, oh my gosh, like, look, you got this. You're in a much bigger house. Like, how are you, stressed out? But like she said, she's like, I'm so used to being in such a small place, in such a small space, that having all of this room, it can be, I could only imagine how, I wouldn't say stressful, but like that's just a lot to take in. You literally are going from sleeping on like damn near a dirt floor and being in a place that you really such poverty, to you come into a place where, in her eyes, of course, it's just like a damn mansion, probably, pretty much. So, she's kind of taking the time in. She was like, your house is dirty, which it wasn't dirty, but it wasn't like clean, because there was shit all over the place. But I understand because he has a daughter. But what I'm interested in is seeing the relationship between Hazel and his daughter. I'm very interested because, like he said, his daughter is his number one priority, and if she can't get that together, and especially with the daughter having autism, I wonder if he has explained to Hazel yet what autism is, how it works, how you need to interact with the daughter. So I'm interested in seeing that. So that's Tariq and Hazel, okay? Oh my gosh. Then we have Mike and freaking Natalie. I'm so exhausted. I don't even want to talk about this. I'm frustrated. I don't want to talk about it. I cannot stand Natalie. I cannot stand Natalie. She is like the most annoying, spoiled, uptight. Like she's all of that, and it pisses me off. She's just, from the last season that we seen her on, when I think it's before 90 days, when Mike did go over there to go and see her, it was just nonstop fucking complaining. She is so annoying. And then that fight that she ended up having with him at the end of the season, when he pretty much told her, because I think he's an atheist, I believe. Either he's an atheist or like he believes in a different religion. I don't know. I think he's an atheist. But the point of the matter is that it's okay. This is my thing. It is okay for you to have your religious beliefs and stuff like that. But I felt like the way that she was coming at him was just completely wrong. This is how I felt like. If you can't deal with the fact that he's atheist, don't be with him. It's just that simple. Just don't be with him. Don't be with him. But outside of that, she was acting like a little ass girl that whole season. It was making me so mad. So they end up leaving on a bad note. And then when they got to the reunion, the girl couldn't even say that she loved him, and then tried to accuse him of cheating. It was just too much. So when it first starts, their whole little section or whatever, you could tell the same damn tension is there. Mike is on the phone with her, but you could tell he barely want to fucking talk to her. When he found out that her visa was approved and that she could come over, he was not excited, rightfully so, because he was like, bruh, we've just been going through so much, like, it's been such teeter-totter, like, I don't really know how to feel. And I feel like if that's how you feel, she should have never came. In my opinion, she should have never fucking came. So then she does end up coming. Oh, before she comes, okay, she pretty much tells Mike that he needs to kick out Uncle Bo, which is his uncle that pretty much has been living with him for some time. He doesn't live in the house. He lives in like the little shed or whatever in the back house or whatever. And so at the time he was like, well, I really don't want to put him out. Like, you've talked to him, you met him before, whatever. Now here's the thing with that. I get on one hand of her being like, if I'm going to come there and I want to be with you, I just want it to be me and you. But at the same time, I feel like you should have gave him like a bigger notice, like, you should have pretty much told him, if I do come out there, one of the stipulations is that he can't be there any longer. That's what you should have told him. And with that being said, he probably could have gave Uncle Bo a more like heads up, whatever, because that was kind of sad to see him, tell him that he had to go. Like, that was a little bit kind of sad. So then Natalie ends up coming. She lands in the U.S. She comes or whatever. They stay in this really, really nice ass hotel. First of all, I don't know why the hell. I know why you're in debt, sir, because it looks like you're spending money that you don't have to. That room that he got for her, first of all, like he said, it's in Seattle, which I would. The number one place I want to live is Seattle. Like, I want to retire in Washington. Like, I want to retire in the outskirts of Seattle, Washington, but it is so expensive to live there. So I don't know if I'll ever get there. But like he even said himself, he was like, a room a night in Seattle, it's like $400-$500 a night. That's absolutely ridiculous. However, that room that he had, the room that he got was fucking beautiful. It was absolutely beautiful. However, it was way too much. If y'all was only staying there, this is how I look at it when it comes to hotel. Unless you're like a millionaire or something like that, I really don't see the point of getting, or you're gonna be there for a long time. I don't see the point of getting the type of hotel room that he got. He got a hotel room that got a living room, and it got a kitchen, and it got all of that. If y'all go back and y'all look at my vlogs from going to Vegas, even in hindsight, like when I went there, I didn't realize that I had all of this extra space. However, I was there for a week and a half, so it made sense for me to have a living room, to have a kitchen, so I could do what I need to do. But y'all was only there for one night, so to me, Mike, you was better off getting y'all a regular ass room. I don't understand why you needed all of that shit, because you're trying to impress her with money that you really don't have. And even Natalie said, I don't even understand how he like afforded all of this, but whatever. They go there, have a nice little night. Next day, they get up, get ready to go to the crib. They go to the crib. As we all know, Mike lives in the middle of absolutely nowhere. So on her way there, she's already complaining about the forest and it's dark, even though he done told her 1,010 times how he lived. So, they get there, whatever, and, she's just trying to take everything in. Nothing wrong with that. Let's talk about the scene in the kitchen. So, I believe it's the next morning after she actually got there. And so they get up making breakfast, right? So I believe it was French toast that she was making, or whatever the case may be. So she makes that, they sit down to eat. She starts eating the food, and at first she says that she likes it, it's good. But then she changes her mind and says no, she doesn't like it. And then sits in a confessional and complains about, oh, well, I eat a certain way and I eat healthy and I take certain vitamins and he doesn't have anything here for me. So I'm just going to sit in the corner. So she goes to the freezer and she gets some carrots or whatever. And her first like, I'm just going to eat my carrot in the corner. No, but you want to eat, go ahead, go eat your carrot in the corner and soak. She gets on my damn nerves because ever since she has been with Mike, all she does is complain. She complains nonstop. It's ridiculous. And the series, I mean, the season literally started with, I guess, her doing a handheld camera and her crying, saying how she don't like how a man treated her like that, how she's going home. Go home. I don't even care. I'm sorry. Unless Mike put his hands on you, I don't care what Mike did because she's annoying. She is spoiled. All she do is complain about some shit all fucking day long. You've been complaining since you got with this man. I feel like personally, like y'all are forcing this relationship. I don't think that y'all need to be together. Y'all don't seem happy together. It seems like y'all stressed out when y'all with one another. And Natalie is ungrateful across the board. She's unfucking grateful. Get her off my TV screen. I'm tired every time I'm tired of hearing her voice. I'm tired. I'm tired. And again, I understand, you have to try to get used to where you at, and I get all of that. But all of this complaining, girl, shut the fuck up. Shut up. Shut up. Okay? That's them. Where we at? We 18 minutes on this. I gotta hurry the hell up. Andrew and Amira. No, Brandon and Julia. Sorry. So we got Brandon and Julia. Brandon and Julia, I'm going to have to run through these other couples pretty fast since I've spent 18 damn minutes on this. But Brandon and Julia. Brandon and Julia, they're two really, really, really young kids, He met her online. She's from Russia, okay? Their situation really isn't that big of a deal except, he lives on a farm in Virginia. She comes from like a big city, whatever. So she comes over. The biggest problem that they're going to have is his mama. His mama is a little bit too involved. She's sitting up there asking Julia about whether or not she's been on birth control. Bitch, that's none of your motherfucking business. Just like she said, I don't even talk to my own mom about that, let alone talking to you. And at the end of the day, I agree with, I understand what Julian is saying. She's like, I don't take birth control because it doesn't sit with my body correctly. And I understand that there's a lot of people who don't take birth control because their body just doesn't react to it correctly. So, mama, you need to mind your own business, mind your own business. So then they take her to the farm or whatever, and you could tell she's just like, oh no, this is a little bit too much. But her main point of contention with Brandon is that his parents are older, so they're old school, so they're like, until you guys are married, you cannot sleep in the same room. And for her, that is a big issue. Like, that's an issue, and I can understand how that's an issue. Like, Brandon didn't tell her that before she came, so that's trash on his part. So right now, where we're at, I believe she's at the farm and everything like that. But Brandon, you need to put your foot down as far as your mama, because your mama is out of pocket. All this, oh, you need to hurry up and this and that and that. Like she said, I just got here. I'm not trying to spend every single moment with your mom. Lovely that she bought my ticket, but I'm with you. I'm not with her. So that's Brandon and Julia. Not much happened with them. Andrew and Amira. Andrew and Amira, not much happened with them either. They met on an international dating site. Amira is from France. I don't remember where Andrew's from, but he, with his mom, runs this daycare center. The main problem that they're having right now is her visa. Her visa pretty much got approved, but it's about to pretty much expire as far as her coming over here because of the coronavirus. Now, when the coronavirus first broke out, Trump had did this little ban about anybody, I think from like Europe coming to the U.S. So what they're gonna do pretty much is do a runaround. So they're gonna go. She's gonna fly to Mexico, stay there for 14 days, and then come into the United States. However, when he went down there to go and meet her, he got a call saying pretty much that she was at a detention center once she got to Mexico. I said, child, this is a mess. This is a mess. Let me see. What do I think? Andrew is, he's very quirky, I guess is the word I'll say. He's very quirky. Amira doesn't really bother me too much, but like, we literally just started on them, so we don't really know too much about them yet. Then we have Jovi and Yara. I gotta see how much time I got here. Okay, Jovi and Yara. So Yara is from the Ukraine. Jovi, I believe, he's from New Orleans. He had met her. I think he met her when he was traveling. And they both was like, so pretty much when they was having fun, they was traveling and fucking traveling, traveling fucking here and there. So eventually he ends up getting a call from Yara pretty much saying that she is pregnant. So at this point, mind you, they only been messing around for like 6 months. But when you traveling and you with no protection, that's what happens. So at that point, he was like, okay, well, let me do what I should do, which is, I guess, the right thing, which is propose to her. I want y'all to stop. Just because you get somebody pregnant, that does not mean that you have to marry them. I want y'all to stop doing that, because you don't have to marry somebody just because they're pregnant. If you wasn't going to marry them, don't marry them. It's ridiculous. But anyway, because she ends up losing the baby, unfortunately. My condolences go out to y'all. But I guess he still felt like, you want to know what? I still want to marry her. So he ends up bringing her over to, where he is. Now, he lives in the city, like, part, of New Orleans, but he's really from, like, the bayou, the swamplands and stuff like that. So Yara, though, is very, like, high fashion. She's actually a very, 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 very beautiful girl. But she's, like, really, really really, what's the word I'm looking for? Bougie. Yeah, there we go. Bougie. So she ends up coming or whatever. Um, and one of the things that they get into off top is the fact that he wanted her to come with him to his mom's house and pretty much stay the night there, for a night, and then go back home. He's really, really, really close to his mom. His mom seems like a nice person. But she pretty much is like, well, I don't want to spend a night there. Now here's the thing, y'all. Here's the thing. I do understand to a degree about wanting to go home, because that's me. I don't give where I am. I want to go home, and I want to I want to sleep in my own bed. I don't even if I am comfortable there, I still want to go home regardless. So I can understand that, and especially with you not knowing them or knowing his mom, I can understand that feeling. Um, at first I did like Joe because I felt like he put his foot down when it comes to her, and I feel like a lot of the men that we see on this show, y'all be having these girls come over, they be super, super beautiful, and then y'all just let them run the fuck all over you. So when they had went to Bourbon Street or whatever, and he was talking to her about it, she was like, I don't want to go, and da da da. And he pretty much was putting her in their place, like, you need to cut it out. Like, you're about to go and meet my mom. It is what it is. So at that point, I was here for Jovi, but they end up going to see his mom, and everything was okay. Yara actually was really, really good with the mom. The only thing is that they was having a conversation about the wedding. Now the thing about it is, The mom, of course, wants them to like pretty much get married there. However, there has been a conversation between, I guess, Yara and Jovi that they might as well just go to Vegas and get married. And the mom did say that she understood that, but she wanted to try to do something for them, even if it was throw a party. Now, I get what Yara was saying when Yara was like, well, I don't want to like have a big wedding and then only his family is there and then I'm sending pictures over to my mom and she couldn't be there. I get that. However, I do agree with his mom when he said, well, you are the one who made the decision to come here. And you knew when you came here you was going to marry him. And you knew when you came here and you married him that your family wasn't going to be able to be here. So didn't you kind of make that decision already when you chose to come? I agree with that. And I also feel like if y'all want to go get married in Vegas, I don't see nothing wrong with that. But I don't see the harm in her at least giving y'all a party. Like, okay, y'all don't want to get married there, fine. But I do not see anything wrong with when y'all coming back or sometime later down the line, her throwing a party just to simply say congratulations. I think y'all was doing the absolute most when it came to that, okay? But then they end up going shopping, right? I gotta see how much time I got left. Okay, they end up going shopping, and I just didn't like the way that Joey was talking to her. He was talking to her crazy, and even the sales lady was like, "What?" Like he has a really, really, really smart ass fucking mouth. And if I was Yara, I would have boot bopped his ass. I would have boot bopped his ass real quick, fast, in a hurry. He's really annoying. And then finally we have Stephanie and Ryan. She was just introduced in the fourth episode. She is an older woman, you know, she has like a decent business or whatever. She doesn't have any children. She said she doesn't have any children because of her childhood. I think her father was bipolar, and you know, I hate when I hear people say that because of their childhood, because their childhood was so bad that they don't want to bring a child into this world. I feel bad for people like that. I don't say feel bad, but I feel bad that people feel like that. I'm watching The Real Housewives of Dallas, and I know for a long time that's how Leanne felt, and it hurts my heart that people feel like that. But anyway, she is messing with this man named Ryan. She met him in Belize, and he is 25 years younger than her. He is 27 years old. And I don't really know where we're gonna go with Ryan. I feel like Ryan's not gonna make it up there. She has a good relationship with Ryan's mother, even though she's 5 years older than her. But it seems like they have a good rapport. She can't really seem to get in contact with him ever since coronavirus. She really hasn't been able to see him. So pretty much, they she had filed pretty much for his visa, whatever. They're just kind of waiting to get the approval on it. But I don't know, something feels off about this whole situation with her and Ryan. I don't know what it is. Maybe it's because we haven't actually seen Ryan yet, so I can't really get a gauge of the type of person that he is. But something just seems off. It's not even the age difference. It's something about the storyline. It gives me what was his name? Was it Caesar? The guy who kept going, the black guy who kept going everywhere and never met the girl a day in his life, and he kept going here and kept going here, and all of these vacations and she would never show up. That's what it's giving me. It's giving me those type of vibes. But that's where we're on episodes 1 through 4. Okay, 1 through 4. 5 comes on tonight. I will be on here to do the review for tonight's episode, and it will be up tomorrow. But y'all get in the comments, y'all tell me what y'all think. Do y'all think Jovi is wrong for how he be talking to her? Like, I don't know, or do you think she deserves it? Because Yara is a little bitchy, but she's high maintenance. But I feel like you got with her knowing that. You know what I mean? But y'all tell me what y'all think. I'm not bad.